missed this. Meek Mills. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood, whereas that he's dressing the same he dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other and he was searching for some online gay porn, all the other like that.
Oh, wow.
That's just crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
A controversial audio clip is circulating online, allegedly featuring Sean, Diddy, Combs, and Meek Mill. The clip, reportedly recorded by a man on his phone, has sparked social media buzz. Some posts suggest the man could be a former associate of Diddy.
All the champagne was spiked, son. Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the fuck out. I don't drink, so I was playing that off like I don't drink. I smoke. Like, I smoke and I had my own weed, but like everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the was going on, but I just heard hoes slapping against. I heard niggas struggling to take dick. I heard niggas like, yeah, daddy. Like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling. Like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all that shit because I was like, this Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Just nobody believed that was really Diddy beating Meek back in. But now y'all believe the video, right?
Meek Mill took to social media to address the rumors surrounding Diddy's legal troubles. He expressed frustration with false narratives in the hip-hop community, particularly accusations targeting artists. While not naming anyone directly, Meek criticized these rumors, saying they aim to create chaos. He teased the release of new music, including a project titled Heathenism, and vowed to stand against false claims, calling out blogs misrepresenting him.
How you feel about Cassie outlining everything that Diddy did to her? He's settling so quick. And I read all 35 pages of the court documents, and I believe he did this.
Well, as arrogant as he is, if he didn't do it, I guarantee you he wouldn't have paid. The simple fact that he paid so quick and it was wrapped up so fast, in my opinion, only lets me know that he knows. Let me stop the faucet of information here.
Yes.
I not only think that everything in those 35 pages is true, I think some shit was probably redacted.
Yeah, they didn't put everything.
I don't think they put everything.
They didn't put but if they would have went to trial, you know, they would have had to go
Lord.
through discovery. Man.
Oh Lord. Give her the, listen to me. This Diddy. Hold on now. Wait a minute, I gotta get this Diddy right now on the phone. How fast can we liquidate?
The controversy stems from a new lawsuit against Diddy alleging harassment and assault. Some anonymous individuals mentioned in the case fueled speculation, particularly involving Meek. DJ academics added to the rumors, prompting Meek to clarify his stance and reaffirm his identity. Meek also promised to expose anyone spreading false stories, emphasizing his commitment to protecting his reputation and family.
Let me ask you this. What do you think Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley's real relationship was?
Concubine. Master.
Ooh.
Period. Everybody know Bentley. Everybody know. I think the thing that everybody is having a hard time grasping is how that whole thing could have probably went down. But the thing is it was how fast he disappeared.
Yes. Now he lives in Atlanta. He's married. He has 2 sons. He's living his life. I mean, but how many? Listen, y'all. If you've ever lived in Atlanta, you know the majority. The majority of them are bisexual and gay men. They just give up their lifestyle to be married and gave their life to God, and then your pastor.
And down low culture is still very, very, very heavy in the Black community in Atlanta. It's funny because Atlanta's like a gay mecca. You would think that there would be no need for down low culture, but down low culture is thriving in Atlanta still.
And it's weird because you can find whatever you want in Atlanta, any kind of relationship, poly, orgies, whatever you're into, you can find somebody there that's into it. It really, you may meet somebody and ladies like, yeah, these are my 2 husbands.
Yeah. And we gonna play Star Wars.
So you think he was Diddy's concubine?
Absolutely. He was too complicit and he was too compliant. And he just disappeared. He disappeared faster than Mace did. You could see the trailer just fire from his footsteps as he ran.
That is
to
true.
The church. But I don't understand why people don't ask why. People, oh yeah, he gone. Oh, okay. Nobody bothered to ask why.
Jaguar Wright, in general, has always been on Diddy's case.
My focus right now is Sean Combs.
Okay. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex trafficker. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic.
Now, is this just boys, girls, adults, kids? I
mean, from what I've heard, from sources that I would consider reliable, it really doesn't matter.
Wow.
I don't think sexuality is something that has anything to do with gender at this point for Sean. I honestly think he's just an extreme narcissist who loves power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Harrell.
Tell us how
who was mentored by Clive Davis.
Oh God! And don't tell me that Andre Harrell got touched by Clive Davis too.
I'm telling you, I don't know what happened between Andre and Clive. What I do know is that Andre got passed over. Like, how do you go from being the president of Uptown and losing your entire company to your intern. Like Puff started out as an intern, and then he became an intern at Uptown, and he was very, proactive. And if there's one thing that Sean knows, he knows pop culture.
That is true. He knows what's hot.
Like I cannot take anything away from where he has been extremely effective.
Yes.
He knows pop culture. Matter of fact, he probably knows pop culture better than he knows music.
I never felt like he had a lot of talent in music. Is that fair for me to say?
I mean, nobody really cares about him.
Jaguar Wright, known for her outspoken views, has often criticized Diddy and made similar allegations in the past.
Lawsuit. It's a girl that was 17 at the time accusing Harv Pierre of forcing her to give him fellatio. And she also claims that Diddy, he flew her to New York and he gang raped her in his recording studio called Daddy House.
Well, I think that any man that force any woman to do anything, it should be like the Arab countries. They just start cutting shit off, to be totally honest, of that man. Any man that forces any woman to do anything, they should treat them like they treat them in the Arab countries and just start cutting shit off. From their fingers to their hands, to their feet, to their genitals, to their head. You know what I'm saying? So now, another thing of it is that how low do you have to be when you're gonna put somebody on a jet and fly them all the way to New York to the studio? To me, bro, to be totally honest, it sounds kind of fishy to me. I can't, and then it came from Harv Pierre. The Harv Pierre I knew back in them days was a cornball that did everything Puff said. You know what I mean? Like he was one of Diddy's highest riders. So I don't know that Harv Pierre. The time they said it happened when I was reading in 2003, I was around at that time. You know what I'm saying? Me and about 8, 9 other bodyguards. See, what people don't know, that Puff had a lot of bodyguards. Everybody has certain days. You understand? I had Saturdays and Sundays. And then when Puff went away, or they were certain places and I was off work, they may call me and say, yo, Gene, Puff wants you here. Can you come? This, that, and the third. And if I could, I would. If I did, I didn't. It wasn't no big thing. So for them to do that, man, that's some real thirsty, desperate shit. That's some real thirsty, desperate shit for them to fly a 17-year-old girl, on a G5. They was flying G5 and G4 jets back then. All the way to New York to gang her in the studio. Man, I wish I could give them their punishment, if that's true.
Yeah, that's what she said, man. She said that Diddy, he flew her to New York, took her to the studio, gave her some game. And there's pictures online too. So she was at his studio, Daddy House. So, I mean, she ain't.
Law enforcement agencies, including HSI Los Angeles and HSI Miami, are taking the case seriously. HSI, known for handling crimes like human trafficking, is deeply involved, underlining the gravity of the situation. Reports have also highlighted Diddy's connections, including past relationships, adding more complexity to the case.
Diddy, he gave up the rest of his shares in revolt.
Listen, he has to do that because no company wants to do business with somebody who is being accused, have allegations against them for sexual misconduct and deviant behavior. Nobody wants to do business with that. All the shareholders, it ain't nothing that he's giving up. They like, yo, listen, give me that. They said, they did a Diddy. Take that. You understand? They're gonna take that from him. The shareholders is gonna say, yo, listen to me. We all gonna pull out. No Diddy. But we all gonna pull out our shares and everything. if you don't give up what you have in the company.
Did you see that video that went viral of Diddy pacing around the airport after his houses got raided?
I seen that video. And I seen that look in his face before. I seen that look in his face. Diddy had that pace and he had that look in his face that he know something may be wrong or they may have something on him. Because they took things out of there. We may not have seen what they took, but they had bags and boxes of stuff that they took out of there. So he knows, he's getting a play-by-play of what's going on. And even back then, doing that City College, when he was fired from Uptown Records, he was making statements about doing himself. He had that same look in his face.
Diddy has strongly denied allegations of misconduct, including an incident at a Manhattan studio in 2003. A woman who made claims against him, now in her 30s, continues to oppose his denials. Gene Deal, a former associate, has also been vocal about these allegations, speaking out months before the current developments.
One thing I did see in this lawsuit, Lil Rod, he alleges that Diddy's son Justin was helping Diddy, get underage girls. And I guess he was bringing them to parties. You know anything about that?
I think Justin is the boy that could do it, if anybody. You understand? He looked young. He around that age, what, he about 25, 26 years old? So I don't know about underage, but it's a possibility because those girls, 16, 15 years old, they gonna like that light skin, that curly hair. You understand? Man, listen here. We got girls that's what you call them, video vixens. And I ain't gonna mention no names because I don't wanna hear it. They say they were sneaking into parties at 15 and 16 years old. So why you think 15 and 16-year-olds ain't sneaking in the Diddy party? So Lil Rod, if he having conversations with him, he may say, yo, how old are you or something like that. Somebody say, I'm like 16, I'm 15. Somebody had to tell him their age for him to know. Who you came here with? I came here with Justin. So what did that say?
Yeah, that's a good point. And looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy promised him a Grammy if he participated in homosexual activity.
I read that, man. You understand? And what kind of power do you have when you can promise somebody a Grammy? But he showed us his power. Remember at the BET Awards? Remember when they was trying to go to commercial? And he said, nah, we not go. Whoever done that, bruh? Whoever stopped the people from going to commercial? Nobody ever did that but Diddy, bruh. So he had some kind of power at one time. We don't know if he still got that power, but at the BET Awards, when they wanted to go to commercial, he did not allow them to go to commercial. So evidently, he knows somebody, or he doing somebody, or somebody doing him, allegedly.
You talking about when he was giving that speech at the BET Awards for the Lifetime Achievement Award?
When he gave that speech, he just kept going, bro. He just kept going and wouldn't stop. And he said, it don't matter how much it costs. We're going to keep going. And they wouldn't even go to commercial. That's never happened before, bro. Never.
Here in the week, Combs made a return to social media for the first time.
Despite his long-standing influence in the industry, Diddy's empire seems to be facing serious challenges. Homeland Security recently raided his homes in Los Angeles and Miami as part of a human trafficking investigation.
Some of the finest work that any of them, including Sean Carter, have ever done. Why would you hide that from the culture if you cared about the culture? You can't, because you don't want people to go back and see what you hid, what you lied about, and what was really going on. While you're sitting there, you have me crooning in the background, singing for the angels over lyrics that you wrote for a young woman that you took
talk about the young woman that he took.
Aaliyah.
Yes, bless her soul, bless her heart. Rest in peace to the late great that never got a chance to even actually arrive. That was before her time. That we all respect and revere.
And look at that. Look at what the fear of man did.
Talk to me.
Because if anybody had truly been focused on God in that moment, they would have forced an investigation, and somebody would have snatched Hype Williams by the collar and just asked him some real questions until he cried.
You mentioned Hype Williams, and he branded and marketed himself by being the darker version of what we appreciate. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you. We get some tissue, please, someone. Yes.
Thank you.
So you just gave me like a brain thought that not only was his imagery dark, but you're saying Hype Williams somehow took the dark side to these issues. Yeah.
Well, Hype Williams is a homosexual.
Why are you so comfortable
turning
Why are you so
straight
comfortable?
men homosexual?
But why in this time and day, 2024, the way things are, I know you like Ellen J. Wright. I get it, but explain to the people why you're so comfortable being that bold with your speech and your separation one thing from the other. That's a word, even though it just describes a situation of my frame. You say it with the wrong tone of voice. People can say you're being...
I'm a bisexual woman. I'm the B in the LGBTQ plus IAXYZ and all the other shit.
Oh, yeah, I did see you go through some shit there with a though. I'm going to give you a though.
No, that wasn't a that was a, I'm trying to stay the fuck out of jail.
Say less, gangster.
They put that crazy bitch on my bond, G.
They did that?
Yeah.
I don't, look.
I didn't even know who she was. All I know is I got out. I didn't know whose name was on my bond. I didn't know anything.
Before this is over, this is what we're going to do. When we're done, the last thing we're going to do is I want you to give me the opportunity.
This recognition is critical in ensuring that survivors are not dismissed simply because they cannot provide exact details.
Bitch needed me to believe that I loved her so she could stop fucking threatening to break my bond every day. Like, why is it that dudes is allowed, you know what I'm saying, to play the game, to get home? You know what I'm saying?
No, I respect the game. Now I have the opportunity to be chilling with you and we casually
Do I got a right? Beggars can't afford to be choosers.
Choosy. There you go.
And I tried to go back to jail when I seen her. I asked her to take
But it's all good.
I said, you know what? Take me back to jail. You can look, take me down there, take my name off. I'll book in.
But you know what? You did push a hard line to the point where it was obvious you didn't give a. You feel me?
No fuck.
Yeah, it was obvious. It was obvious.
And guess what? I love that. Want to know why? Because it forced people to look at that situation for what the fuck it was.
Would survival be a good word?
No. Look at what this fucking poor simpleton was willing to do for a moment of fame. You allowed yourself to be drugged through the mud.
Disrespected.
Yeah, completely. And guess what? You stuck around.
Yeah, you a fool for that one. I gotta tip
Stuck
my
around. For what? It wasn't for love. There was none there for you.
So what do you think the motivation was? Just the clout?
Absolutely. It was all YouTube generated. And there's ties that lead back to Transrena Kiwi, you know.
I'm lost with that term, but...
Tasha K?
Oh. That's
Transrena. That's her middle name. That's what her mama name her. Her mama call her Transrena. I'm going to call her Transrena.
So you and Tasha K don't get along?
Oh, no. Like, I went deep. Like, I done sat down with, like, kinetic scientists and... She's my enemy from a former life. Yeah. That bitch literally followed me to this life.
You went Ben Carson on.
She followed me to this life because she was that pissed off that I shit on her in the last one. And guess what? It was the same relationship last time.
Look, you know, you are a genius, or you are notorious for saying things that are that crazy and things that make a whole lot of sense.
At the same time.
Yes, so please...
Jay-Z's legal team has been vocal in their denial of the allegations. They have described the lawsuit as frivolous and an attempt to exploit the legal system for personal gain. In their view, the inconsistencies in Jane Doe's account undermine the credibility of her claims, and the case should be dismissed to prevent further harm to Jay-Z's reputation.
If I'm crazy, God is crazy.
I agree. I think chaos rules this universe.
Well, I don't think. See, this is the thing. All of these words were invented by human beings.
Oh.
Now, if I let my beloved tell me, I believe the same symbol in the Chinese alphabet, they use the same symbol for tragedy and for opportunity.
Go on, Ellen, break bread. I'm listening.
I mean, so if that's the case, is it
it's
chaos?
one and the same.
Is it chaos, or is it organized
Confusion,
destruction, or organized confusion, or organized noise? Shout out to Pharaoh Mind.
Yin and yang.
So, it's just funny because people love creating chaos, but they don't like dealing with the ramifications of it. People create chaos every day. God gave us 10 rules and said, hey, you follow these 10 rules, life will be cool. And guess what? What does humanity do? Break those fucking rules every fucking day. And
Just
then they
to unlock all the
hell they come along with
ramifications.
it. If somebody tell you don't touch the stove because it's hot, whose fault is it when you get burned?
Well, how many times do you have to touch it to realize you shouldn't touch it? That's easily.
Listen to me. I know a guy that was driving drunk and his girlfriend died in a crash. And he became an atheist because he said he asked God to save her. And you want to know what was really fucked up? We talked about that after so many years. And I said, question is, did she needed God to save her, or did she need to be saved from you? Because you was the motherfucker that was driving drunk to begin with. Like you've been mad at God because you got drunk.
Is this an individual that you are aware of has a history of having a connection with God, or is that just his thought to God?
However, Busby has argued that these denials are part of a broader strategy to deflect attention and discredit the plaintiff. He has accused Jay-Z's team of engaging in bad faith tactics and attempting to blur the facts to sway public opinion. These accusations have only added to the complexity of the case, as both sides continue to present conflicting narratives.
No, this was a person that had a very strong connection, and guess what? Has found their way back to God in a more realistic, manner. But at the end of the day, we blame God because we choose not to listen to him. And I think that's what really makes my enemies despise me, because I embolden people to believe in God. Because if you believe in God, you really ain't got to worry about the rest of the stuff.
Oh, my mama, with all the doubts I've experienced through my life, with all the belief I've experienced through my life, my encounters and engagement with you have strengthened my belief rather than deteriorated. Whether it's 1%, 0.5%, 0.1%, your experiences cause me to believe.
However, Diddy has appeared publicly unfazed, maintaining his trademark confidence. He was recently seen biking in South Florida, enjoying the day in a relaxed manner.
Times they're able to say, you know what, I did see that somewhere else, or I heard that, or I've owned that, and it doesn't belong to me. But that also comes with doing really good extensive trauma work. So I think someone definitely should sit down with her and piece apart what is it that is real versus what you feel, because making mistakes in a situation like this is pretty critical and pretty crucial. So it's important to be very clear.
Sharonda Brown, always great insight. We appreciate your valuable time. Thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome.
My think tank's still with us. Al Wunsch, Darnell Crossland, and Jennifer Brandt. So Jay-Z responded very quickly now after this latest revelation and said this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it, meaning the attorney, in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. Jennifer Brandt, what about this whole thing from Jay-Z's perspective? If none of this happened, if absolutely none of this happened, What should he do? What will he do?
Well, I think first he's going to disprove these claims and, and show that he wasn't there or come up with some reason, why this is all false. And there are some inconsistencies in the story already. Whether he goes after her now, goes after the victim. I mean, there's probably not much there, but I think he's got to repair his reputation. And maybe that's easier said than done. If this all shows that it's not true, I think people will, look past this and say, it wasn't him. It was a false allegation and go on. I think the public is very forgiving about these things.
Darnell, it's like open season on anyone who has taken pictures with Diddy, anyone who's been to any Diddy event or has at any point been associated with him, especially if you have a lot of money. What are your thoughts about Jay-Z's response here? And what do you think he should do from this point moving forward?
Well, it's getting more and more interesting as we move along. And I think that while I respect plaintiffs' attorneys, like all attorneys, we have an obligation to do our homework. We have an obligation to realize that once we put someone in a lawsuit, they're going to have an impact on their reputation. Like I said, I represent Joseph Sherman, who was P. Diddy's bodyguard and who was accused of a forcible rape against Atalia Graves, represented by Gloria Allred. We have so much information that came out that that's false that we had no choice but to sue Gloria Allred personally and her client. Right after we did that, 3 people sued Busby. Jay-Z was one of them. So I think what you're going to be seeing is a lot more people saying enough is enough. We're not going to do this unidentified victim thing and settle out of court and then just live with it. So, I'm proud to lead the pack on suing one of the top lawyers who brought this out. And now Busby's been sued as well. And I think so Jay-Z's going to stand his ground. He should. And like he said, if it's this bad, arrest me. Bring criminal charges. So I think he's doing the right thing. And hopefully justice will look in the form of people withdrawing these lawsuits. And maybe they might have to suffer a defamation lawsuit and pay like we did.
All right, Al, I'll give you the last 15 seconds.
For the accuser and her legal team, the challenge will be to present a compelling case that withstands the scrutiny of both the court and the public. This will require addressing the inconsistencies in the accuser's account while highlighting the broader context of trauma and abuse. For Jay-Z and his team, the focus will be on defending against these allegations while minimizing the impact on his reputation.
Here, your thoughts on where all of this is going?
Well, I got to tell you that the plaintiff's attorney has certainly made things very interesting, putting in celebrity B. I wonder who that could possibly be. A female? Letter B? Queen B, maybe?
Nope, it's 2000. Not together
still,
yet.
They're not together yet, but I mean, by putting in these type of things and making that suggestion, it does make it very interesting to see where things are going. But the fact that the father has no idea that anything like this happened and doesn't recall anything that night out of the ordinary is very troubling to me.
All right, Think Tank coming back. When we return, the latest on Diddy. He's getting a laptop. Is he getting celebrity treatment? We'll break it down next.
Delivered with Pizza Hut.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
And now the latest development for Diddy, who's been trying to get out on bond, get out on bail, but has been denied over and over again. So he's sitting in a jail. But now take a look at the latest order from the district court judge, the federal district judge. The MDC, which is the place where he is staying, is ordered to give defendant access to the Discovery laptop 7 days per week from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The purpose of the Discovery laptop is to review Discovery, not to take or store notes. It is the court's understanding that the laptop has been preloaded with Discovery materials, but does not allow any functionality beyond reviewing those materials. Let's bring back in our think tank Al Wunsch, Darnell Crosland, Jennifer Brandt. Darnell, kind of sounds like an inmate discovery Kindle.
Yes, it's common, and it even gets better. So
poor defendants get it also.
Yes. Poor defendants get it also. So at some jails in the federal system, you sign up and you go down to a room and you get a certain amount of hours to review the discovery. Some places they allow you to have a laptop, and even after people are sentenced, you might not notice, but almost all my clients, they get these iPads and they can call me directly from the cell. They can call their families from the cell. It's getting better and better now. But the discovery laptop is nothing new. So they're restricted. You can't call out. You only go review.
The allegations against Jay-Z and Diddy and the broader implications of this case highlight the complexities of seeking justice in cases involving powerful figures.
Do the discovery. And in the federal system, the discovery is so voluminous, they have what they call bait numbers. And so you might have bait 001 into the multi-thousands. And you have to go through each one. So it's not unusual.
Al, do you think Diddy's going to sit down and read all of it?
Well, he's got nothing better to do. So, of course, he's going to be reading it.